All right, what is up, traders? Happy Easter to everybody that's out there. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know I am. So, it is time for the Crypto Weekly Outlook. We are going to push through and get this thing done today. Hope everybody's doing good. What's up, Monique? What's up, John, Ed, Dewey, everybody else? Glad you could make it. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's testing this 8-hour resistance right here. You can clearly see that we made this push up and failed. We failed to close above that level. We still need to, so the bulls were not able to get that closure above. So that means the sellers come in, and now you see a push to the downside. However, this is always good and healthy. You can see clearly that we caught this level, $57,753 right here from this bearish candle. You can clearly see a nice little test of that level. If we go down into a smaller time frame chart, you can see that didn't get a really big bounce from it, and it is already heading back down to retest it again. This also coincides pretty nicely with this hourly closure bearish candle right here. So basically that's just another layer of confluence that I like for the level. Now, we could possibly head lower. I have another 8-hour level down here at 56,398, which is this bearish candle right here. That is a pretty far piece from current price action of about $1,000 or so. We will see what happens if it gets down there, if it absolutely catches this price or not. This is good. It's still obviously very constructive. I mean, you're trading just barely off your all-time highs. If I go into a weekly chart, you can see that this last weekly bullish candle right here, that is the ultimate resistance, and that's 59029. We definitely want to see this thing close above that tomorrow. However, we may not get that, and that's quite okay. Now, this other level down here, that is, let me see what that is. Okay, it was just this level from when we came down and tested it. So that's an old level. It may hold us support again, but we have other levels that might come into play before we ever get down there, like this one right here at 53,554, and that's only if these two areas do not stop current price. What's up, Atif, RB, Mike Z, Dave Giffen, sorry. B-Rent, listening while I rake the yard. Nice. It's windy as crap outside where I'm at, so yeah, it wouldn't be very good raking weather. So yeah, Bitcoin's having a pullback, and it's good because obviously if you didn't get in on any of this, you can wait till it absolutely finds support. I do believe it will find support, as this was a nice push off of these lows down here. Now, we did get a very important piece of information yesterday. We had non-farm payrolls, and the numbers were blowout. They were phenomenal numbers. So basically what I'm expecting this week is possibly some dollar strength, which would coincide with, Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. And that's quite all right. We're not scared of that. We love pullbacks, as it gives us opportunities to add to our positions. So looking for the week to come, if you do get that dollar strength, then these levels probably will come into play. Generally, since last March, we had that sell-off in the markets, the big scare. Basically, the dollar was acting as a risk-off currency. People were unloading or loading up into the dollar while all that was going on. It was trading inversely to all the risk-on assets. But now it seems to be that people are rebuying the dollar simply because the American economy is turning around and going up, and the dollar is the world currency. So yeah, dollar's a good investment right now, apparently. Also with the TNX going up, so I want to know if that's going to have anything to do with Bitcoin. So we're going to keep a close eye on this thing, as well as the dollar. Ethereum had a nice breakout move. This is the old all-time high right here. You can clearly see we got that breakout. If I go over here to a daily chart, you will see that you did get a daily closure above that level right here. That level was retested, however, briefly, and then you have shot up. So is this 2006 level going to hold as support? It is currently catching any price action coming down into that. I think it was a 4-hour level. Nope, 1 hour level. I don't exactly remember right. Yeah, it was a 1 hour level. So yeah, that's where price got caught. That was your last bearish closing 1 hour candle before you had the big breakout. So it is obvious or normal that price would come back in to retest that level to see if buyers are going to step back up, and so far they have. Now you can clearly see that you have caught a bit of resistance up here, and excuse me, Bitcoin is also fighting with a little bit of resistance. So I don't know if I'd be looking to buy this pullback right now just yet. I mean, it could obviously keep going higher, guys. We don't have crystal balls, but this was the entry, obviously, and it's too late now. If it comes back down and retests that level within this hour or the next hour, I do not like that so much, because that would just be indicative of a dead cat bounce coming off from these highs. You can clearly see on an hourly chart, you got lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and you have taken out the lower hourly support level that you would have wanted to see held if this breakout was going to continue to the upside. I do believe this breakout is going to continue to the upside. I just want to see it come and get some support at a lower level. This is also the old breakout area over here. So let's throw this line up there on the 8-hour close of that bullish candle. So you could even get a retest of that level, 1985 spot 50. As long as price is not closing 8-hour candles below that level, this is all good, and it's all good. You do have another area right there that could be retested. It was retested once it did break out. You can see how these candles kind of consolidated right on that high. So you got multiple tests coming off of it. 1, 2, 3, and then boom, see you later. That's astonishing. That's what you want to see on these levels. If you're going to see bullish action, you definitely want to see candles closing higher, taking out old highs, not lows. So as long as it's taking out lows, you don't look to buy that. That is in its very definition of buying a falling knife, and you do not want to do that. So let this thing find support. Look for support at 2006 spot 61, 1985 spot 50, or 1921 spot 61. One of these three areas would be a phenomenal place to look to get long on Ethereum if the bulls are going to stay in control of this asset. Now, I have been watching a lot of no name cryptos on the KuCoin exchange. We do have several of those things popping off today. Let's go look at a few of them. We got this thing right here. Boom, big explosive move. But if I pull out the chart to a weekly and put a little bit of a perspective on this move, you can clearly see that this is nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, if we do not get a weekly close above 1869 Satoshis, I will be barreling into this thing to the short side, faux show. All right, and then we got another one here, Toko BTC, doing the same thing. If I go into an 8-hour and hit this, you can clearly see a nice big push up. However, this thing is extremely dangerous. These are 8-hour candles, and you are just getting ticks. That's a tick. When you see price doing this, this is a tick to the downside, a tick to the upside. That's why it's exactly level with each other, to the upside and to the downside. This is just random ticks. This is nothing. There is no liquidity in this asset. You could get slipped very, very badly if you try to short this or even buy it. Just keep that in mind. Yes, it is up over 90% on the day. Let's go to the day. Right there, up over 90% on the day. Just remember, illiquid stuff tends to catch people off guard when their stops get slipped or they just get missed. I mean, so be very, very careful trading this thing. And then when we do have a member in CTM that told me he bought this thing down around 90 or 70, one of these two areas, you can clearly see that he has got a 100% move on that investment. So bravo. I would be looking to take profits because you are pulling up into a weekly area of resistance. This bullish candle right there. So 208 Satoshis. If you get a weekly closure above that level, then you can possibly look for pullback entries, looking for higher low support to kick in for a possible another move to the upside. However, if you do not close above this weekly candle, this is going to be looked at as a pop in price only, and sellers will be engaging this asset, looking for this thing to get pummeled right back down to where it came from. Now, I do want to show you this. This is a weekly chart. So you can clearly see, oh, that's the wrong tool, apologies. You can clearly see that this thing found support, all right, on a weekly time frame, and then you have been making higher highs and higher lows on the weekly. Had a nice constructive pullback right here on the weekly, and then boom, explosion. So I would not be looking to short this just if it doesn't close above this tomorrow. I would absolutely want it to start making lower highs and lower lows on an 8-hour time frame, and then show me the inability to get back above any pertinent levels of resistance. If that happens, then I would look to possibly enter this thing short as well. You can see how much this thing is moving on a weekly. That is insane. Those little tick moves like that can destroy you if you are over leveraged and not understanding as to what is going on. This thing is extremely volatile right now. And then this last one, opacity versus Bitcoin, had a nice move. I've been watching this since this broke out the other day, and it had an extremely nice move to the upside. I did capitalize on that move a little bit, took profits, and I am now out of this trade. But hey, this thing is moving higher. It doesn't have a whole lot of data on it, but it doesn't look as bad as the other ones where it was just an elevator straight down and then a small little pop in price. You throw this on a weekly and you can see that, yeah, that's constructive price action. Just give me 1 second, make sure I'm not dropping too many frames. I'm dropping a few, but all good. So yeah, that's that on the way out of middle of nowhere cryptocurrencies. I don't know what any of those things do, so let me go back over here to the other stuff. I was looking at Stellar, because Stellar is pulled back into this trend line. Let's go back on a daily time frame real fast. You did get this pullback into this trend line right here. I'm not sure if I just tacked it to that low. I might have. So, and you've been trading up higher. Now, this is the thing on Stellar. We had this level of resistance right here at 439210, and you can see that we were unable to get that daily closure above that level. Even though we traded well up into the highs of this candle, we still rejected, and you can see that today's candle has completely taken out the low of yesterday's candle. Now, are we going to find support right here at this old resistance level at 41.6148, this level right here from this bullish candle's closing price? You are getting really close to testing that level right now as we speak. And then I have an 8-hour structure right beneath it, so there is a little bit of confluence for some support to possibly be found right here on XLM Stellar. So let's see what happens here, see if this thing wants to move higher. Dot broke out. Dot's doing great things. Dot had a fake out move down here. This was a bear trap because you did take out this. Oh, no, you did not. Sorry. Unfortunately, I am mistaken. It was that one. So you have not taken the low end out of that range. However, you did get your support and you have been moving up nice and methodically like a bullish asset should. Now, I am waiting for these two areas to come into play, 41.03 and then 39.60. These two levels are going to be the first levels that I'm going to be looking for support. Make sure that those levels hold before you look for bullish entries. As long as those levels are holding on 8-hour closing bases, I will possibly be looking for long entries on this thing. Let me check out the chat real fast. Mike Z, does BTC look a bit toppy? Couldn't get over 60K. I mean, it found resistance, that's for sure. On multiple 8-hour closures right here, you were closing right into this resistance level, unable to close above it. Yeah, for the near term, that is a little bit toppy. That is also why you're testing your level of support right now, because this is what sellers look for. You can't get above your resistance on multiple tests. People are going to start shorting that, and also people that are long this asset from down here or down here would look at this as a failure, and they're going to exit some of their positions as well, which would bring in the selling pressure a little bit thicker, and that's why you see a small pullback coming in. But it's not a massive pullback. It's not a sell-off or anything like that. It's just you're just pulling back. You were unable to close above. Now you're coming back to find support. So that's what we have to see. Does it find support? I like this level down here better at 56,398 because it gets underneath these wicks right here. All right, so any over leveraged traders that got long on either one of these three wicks to the downside will get taken out, and that's basically when the buyers would like to step back in. So that's what I'm watching. This level could absolutely hold a support. Even though it was tested multiple times, it can absolutely stay right here. But like I said, I'm watching Bitcoin on a smaller time frame chart. The fact that you have already almost taken that bounce out, I'm pretty sure that it's going to possibly be testing that level again. Multiple tests is okay as long as you're not closing below it. You start closing below it on an hourly time frame, then you can look for lower levels. All right. If you don't like this level all the way down here, you can drop a level right here on this bearish candle at 57,170. Look to see if that level holds as support. I am expecting Bitcoin to find support, but like I said, it's just Saturday, and that good news that the dollar had this weekend, I am sure is possibly going to put a bid under the dollar, or if that was already priced into the market, if it was already expected, then it could be a sell the news environment or an event, so to speak. I was watching Euro Friday and it looked like Euro was heading lower because of the news. But like I said, we just have to wait and see what happens. It's too early to say that if this is going to head lower or not. It is currently heading lower, but it has not taken out any relevant levels to the downside, which is what you need to see before you can get short on anything. All right, so basically moving on. Balancers in a pretty nice area as well. Well, no, let me get back over here to the 8 hour. So basically it was range bound. You had a breakout. You have tested old resistance, which is just this bullish candle right here. I do not know why it was all the way over there, but that right there is what happened. Found that resistance there. You have come back down. Let's get rid of this level, and you're testing this area right here to see if this area wants to hold a support. So basically watch to see if you're looking for bullish entries on Balancer. See if you get a closure on an 8 hour basis below 55.82. As long as you're maintaining closures above that level, I do believe it is going to come back and try to touch this 62.17 level again, and then ultimately heading back up here to the $64 area. But we have to wait and see, as you can't just buy blindly into these things. Was this the entry? It's possible, but that's a little bit aggressive in my experience to just blindly buy stuff like that. This is a nice move. Let's see how this plays out for the next day or two. I would love to see it just consolidate down in this area without being able to close 8 hour candles below it. That happens, I might look for a bullish entry on Balancer. Compound is basically doing the same thing as DOT. It's just moving higher. It has not broken out yet. So this is still in this range right here. That's your last bullish closing candle. So that is your resistance, but we don't like the wicks. We want it on the candle. Let's get that off of that big fat line too. Excuse me. And then your range to the downside is down here. So basically, yeah, but I would have expected resistance to come in here, and it did not hold it. So there is some bullish momentum underneath this asset. So I will expect this area to hold as resistance, and then you can look for a pullback into this area, possibly down here at 403.09, which is this bearish candle right here. I don't like this one because it's so close to the top. Right now, you're so close to resistance. It does give you a 2-to-1 risk to reward, but if the price comes back down, I would assume that they would be targeting that wick low at the very, very near term. That's why I would much rather buy it down here. Would be a great spot for that thing to catch a higher low support. What's up, Jeff? Waka Chaka, what's happening, my friend? Darren Marshall, Kimberly Wood. 1985 says Monique Johnson. Michael Vital says, with BTC having that big V-shaped move, shouldn't it have had more strength coming into 60K? Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like the fact that this was a strong bullish move, and for it to just peter out the way it did right here into this resistance, not really liking that so much. But like I said, I mean, basically whenever stuff moves up and down, you're still trading within a range. I mean, let me get rid of all these lines, and I just got rid of my indicators instead, but that's okay. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like that right there, and then your low down here. You can see that it's still in this price leg to the downside. So you basically have just retested this down move. Close to the upside would have taken out this down move and would have put the ball more in the bull's court. But you're trading up next to all-time highs, man. I mean, you're going to find a lot of resistance up here. People are wanting to short this thing, especially the non-believers who think it's going back down to $3,000. They're attacking with everything they got. They're losing money, but they're going to continue to lose money, in my opinion. I do believe it will find support. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. You know what I mean? We'll find it at a lower area. The fact that it has been consolidating for a pretty good while, and it is making higher highs. I mean higher lows. So basically, you got some kind of like wedge formation going on here. If you want to watch that, you can. You don't have to trade it while it's inside of that. If you get a breakdown below it or a breakout above it, then that's probably going to be the move. This was a strong bounce off of support. So yeah, it's just finding resistance. This could just be a fake out move to the downside and getting ready to go higher. I like the fact that it did shoot out of there, but I'm like you. I don't like the fact that it spent so much time here without breaking out. So it looks like they just want to pull back on it. So just give it some time. I didn't think of Friday's news already being priced in. Sometimes stuff is and sometimes stuff isn't. There's no way to know if it's priced into the market or not. That's why we trade on price and what price does, not what the news says. I'm just letting you know that the news was extremely bullish for the dollar, especially with the TNX still rising and everything. It looks like people are buying the dollar in hopes of the United States of America's economy around. It's a good place to put your money if the United States economy is turning around. So as long as that's going on, then there's going to be a bid under the dollar. With the good news, that's another thing that could be a strike in the category of putting a little bit under the dollar. If it does sell off, then it was priced in, is basically all I was saying. If you do get some bearishness out of the dollar this week coming, then the move was priced in, and it was a sell the news event rather than buy the news. I'll just go ahead and pull it up real quick and show you. I was watching it all day. I mean, it didn't really do nothing. You see what I mean? These 3 sessions right here, you just basically traded range bound. So you got little spikes, and there wasn't no liquidity. This thing wasn't trading. Apologies. Let me go into the euro. That wasn't trading, I don't believe. So you can see this is when the news came out. Right here on this big spike. Right here, you got spike to the upside, spike to the downside, and then it found support and then found resistance. So yeah, we have to see. We have to wait and see. Is this thing going to continue higher? If it does, that would be bullish for Bitcoin. If it starts to continue to roll over, obviously it's going to put just a little bit more pressure on Bitcoin. That's all. You know what I mean? It was bullish news for the dollar. So let me go look at ADA. Cardano still trading in this range. I would love to see it break out one way or the other, because it is even tightening up in between this right here. It's disgusting. It's impossible to trade this. Impossible. It's not moving enough for anything to happen. So let's see if we come down, stop these wicks right here, and then move higher, as that would be what I would look for. And there's nothing here on this daily, obviously. Let's go see if there's something in a smaller time frame chart that puts us right under those wicks. I don't see anything on a 2-hour. You got one right here. So yeah, that's where I want to see support hold. Right there at 1.14. Right here, 1.14. If you go to an 8-hour chart, that'll get you underneath that stuff. Right here, this one and this one might be a good spot for buyers to step in at that point. Aiming for this range to be broken. And then again, it could just keep rolling over. This is some very difficult price action to trade. You made a high, you made a low. Made another high, even a closing You closed higher, and then boom, immediately rejected. So smells like a bull trap to me. The fact that you can't make any more highs, not so healthy, but the overall trend is to the upside, so I will only be looking for buying opportunities on it. I'm looking at 1.17 or 1.14, this level down here. Ave's pushing out. Right now, you did break out. You are closed above. So let's see if it's finding support. Looks like it is trying to find support right there at 382.85. But let's like I said, this is a waiting game now because everything's doing the same thing. It's having a decent pullback. So for the last 3 sessions, it's only been trading down. So the momentum is currently to the downside. But if you fail to get below this thing, it might be a good buying opportunity, targeting that wick high. I think Bitcoin is nice and strong too. A lot of things are strengthening because Bitcoin lost its momentum up at that resistance level. Let's go see what the Bitcoin let's go see what the Bitcoin dominance looks like real quick, because I haven't looked at that in a few days. I've just been trading on basically on, oh, did I move it? It's not there. What did I do with this thing? There it is. Oh, nice. Pushing lower. That's to be expected, I guess. Alts are pumping, and some of them are pumping hard. This is why you're having big moves in the KuCoin assets and stuff like that. So this isn't a tradable asset, but it is good to basically keep an eye on if you are looking to trade alts, as that looked like it was going to break down. So anybody that got ahead of this, looking for this to break down and got long on some alts and cashed in, kudos to you. Ethereum is what I need clarity on. I did Ethereum. I'll do it again real fast. What kind of clarity are you looking for? Here are your 3 levels of support to look for. I mean, hopefully you're already long and you're not looking to get long up here, right? Why? We don't like to buy highs just in case they roll over. What you want to find is higher low support. You want to find a pullback that finds support. If you're day trading it, that's different. Then if you're day trading it, you've already got a nice little bullish pop. But like I said, see where it closes. If you want to watch hourly closes, do that. If you get an hourly close below this hourly bearish candle, then you are coming back down to test 2006. If you fail that level, you got an 8-hour level right below it at 1985. This level here, that's the level that I'm watching. I'm not going to buy it right here. I want to pull back a little bit farther and then show me that it wants to hold as support. That would be a good spot for it to do so. If it continues higher and I'm not in the trade, that's okay, because I'm a long-term investor and hodler in Ethereum, and I am in this thing way, way lower. So as long as it's going up, it's going up. It's good. You know what I mean? That's what we want it to do. We want that thing to continue to cruise higher. But you got an 8-hour level all the way down here. But like I said, you got this old high and this old high. Those are the 2 areas that may offer up support. I don't know that they will, but they may. And you can come all the way down to 1843 and still remain bullish on it, is what, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to come all the way down there, because usually when these things get moving like this, you can see the pullbacks are tiny pullback, and then it goes tiny pullback. But that's how much. It just depends on how much momentum it has and how many FOMO buyers are hitting it up. It looks good. It looks constructive. I want to buy it at 1985 or 1921 for a weekly range expansion. Someone asked me to look at this morning. This is Civic versus Tether. It had a nice breakout as well. I haven't seen what the longer term chart is. Extremely bullish. Yeah, this thing is good. This is what a good asset looks like. Something that is nice. That's nice. Obviously, I wouldn't buy it up here. You have a daily level right below it, but it looks like it's finding a little bit of support right where it is. The only reason I can see that happening, yeah, it's not real. I mean, it's testing support right now, but it looks like it's trying to break down because you didn't even take out this candle's high right there. See, you made a lower high, and you've pushed beneath that candle's close. So see what happens at 0.56051. See if that level holds a support. If it does not, you have a level right below you, right here. All right, so one of these two areas, if it's going to remain bullish, should catch a bid there. But it's been pretty bullish. This was a nice long area of consolidation, and it's breaking out. So it may not even come back down here to test these levels. It just depends on how bullish it is. It looks extremely bullish right now. Looks extremely bullish. I'm not even sure what. I'm not even sure what. So it's on Binance, Huobi, HIT BTC. Yeah, I can't trade it. I cannot trade that. Well, what else? Link isn't doing. It's looking good. I mean, you did break out of your range. All right, you set your range here to here was your range. You have broken out. I have a support level right there, and I don't know why. Why is that level there? That would be the old resistance level. I just looked at this chart not even very long ago. There's your last bullish candle. There it is. So, yeah, look to see if it finds support one of these areas, because these would have been your old resistance levels that you broke out. You can see that it did have a little bit of fight right here, and then it broke out and retested it instantly and moved a little bit higher, but this was a pretty sharp sell-off once you broke out. So this could be a bear trap, I mean a bull trap. If you're not able to hold resistance at this level, then you're going to come lower. Next level that I have is this bearish candle down here, right there, and that's a 2 hour. So one of these two levels, I want to see it hold support. If we take out this swing low down here, then I don't like it at all, as this would be just a bull trap, and it's possibly heading back down here to test this thing all the way down there. But it's building. It's building. I do like the fact that it broke out. I wish it would be slowing down right here, at least not closing below that 8 hours candle low right there that it was put in. So this might be an area right now where it's at. It's got to continue up. It's got to continue up, because up here is where the resistance is. It didn't even test that one. So that would be a good area to take profits. If it does hold a support here, I would be looking to take profits ahead of this level. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. BNB, I can't trade it, but you broke out again on BNB. This thing has just been extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. So since this was already retested, I would be using these levels right here for support. 306 spot 539. See if it comes down to there. That's the first level that I got for support, and that's exactly where it would have to come before I would look to buy it. I would not buy it up here, because with this level looming down here, that could just be where it wants to go over time. It could take some time to play out. Even what happened to the music? All right, I guess that playlist is over with. So we'll try this playlist. Let me go over here real fast to Kraken. Zcoin has been pushing higher, I thought. No, it wasn't Zcoin. Which one was it? Oh, maybe it is Zcash, or maybe it's against the dollar. I don't know. Someone was talking about something. Zill, maybe? Zilliqa. I thought that was traded on. Yeah, that's the one it is. Zilliqa. Did I have that over here on this orange list and didn't even know it? Or red? Yeah, it's right there. Same thing. It's, man, it's so strong. It's not got much liquidity in it because there's huge gaps in 8-hour price bars. But it may be finding support right now. Right there at 1836 Satoshis right here. See what happens. It looks like you're getting a small little bounce off of that area. You did take out this high right here on a closing basis, but then you immediately rejected, which is never really good. But it can do it. I've seen price do that so many times on these things. These things are hard to get a... And this is wedging up. V-chain wedging up. I missed this too. But it never did come down and test no kind of resistance or, no kind of support. It just moved higher. Here is your current level of support for the major downside. There's nothing in here, and this itself is also very illiquid. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I am watching these theory things, though, because I would love to short the snot out of it. MPXSUSDT. Right here, I got it. So, basically, it's consolidating and it's rolling over. You have support right underneath you right here at 00626. Just this bearish candle's closing price. You tested that, and this is a daily chart. You tested that. Let's go see if you got something on an 8-hour. You do. You got something right below it. So that's wonderfully beautiful. I would look to see if it finds support right here. If it's unable to do so here, comes down here, this would be a phenomenal place to look for a support test. I would expect a bounce there. How big of a bounce? It's impossible to say, but it's a nice spot. Nice spot. Gets you underneath these wicks and this wick here. And it was kind of tested. Once it blasted out of there, it came back down a little bit and tested the high of that candle. Then you had this fake out thing here, and then this crazy price action. It's just trading on highs, bouncing back and forth in a range up on highs. That's your resistance right there. Current resistance is going to be this bullish candle here, but your main resistance is right there. 832. This level right there. Heath, could you go over an example of an intraday scalp entry? You start with the 8-hour close and then go to lower time frame. I plan on binge watching all of your content. Yeah, sure. I have a video. I have 2 videos in a playlist called Trade Management. You should watch those videos. They're actual trades that I took the trade and basically just recorded the screen while the trade was in motion, and I sped it up during the price while it was moving. Those are pretty good things to watch, but I will go over it. Let me go over here to the Forex charts because I need something with liquidity to do this. Anything I say is going to essentially be, damn it. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find my last trade. Well, I'm down on the week this week. I closed the week red, which, let me see real fast. I'm just going to pull up, see if I can find the last chart or the last trade that I took. Let me do it this way. You look over here on this other screen. Alright, I'll just talk through it. Screw it. I can't find nothing right off the bat. That question caught me off guard. So let's go to a bullish asset like the pound yen, for instance. So basically these levels get moved. TradingView loves to do that to me. So this is what I'd be looking for, right? So when price is moving up, when it starts to roll over, I'm looking for areas for it to find support. I don't know where it's going to find support. I just put these levels on the chart because in my experience, they have found support before, right? So if I roll over here, you can see when price came down, tested that level. That's where I want to test it. So when I'm throwing these levels on the charts, telling you that's where I would look for entries, this is why. Right here. This has been tested, right? So I even put a trend line on it. You can see down here, you got a tack there, tack. So that came into play as well. So you had some nice confluence there. So basically what I do is I go into the smaller time frame charts. I'm looking intraday, so I will see what it's doing on an hourly time frame. All right, so once it came in and made this bounce, this was the first initial push into the level with a strong bearish close. All right, so on this bounce right here, this was at 11 o'clock, so I would have never been trading it. I would have been looking for a retest of this candle on an hourly time frame, or I will go into smaller, a 5-minute chart and find perfect entries. It's going to be impossible for me to roll this back all the way there. Oh, no it ain't. There it is. Beautiful. All right, I know I'm zip-zagging the screen back and forth. Apologies on that. All right, so this is your push into the area. So if I'm looking for a daily range expansion to the upside, this is something I probably wouldn't have traded because it was coming in hot, so to speak, making in higher or lower highs and lower lows on every push up. It got sold into, but once you find resistance or find support, I then look for entries on retests. So basically I'll be looking for like this area to hold, and I would want price action to come down in and test it. You didn't get all the way down there, so I might have missed this, but there are other examples that are absolutely flawless. And I'm only looking to take intraday entries on Forex from 7 in the morning my time to 9 in the morning. After that, once it gets to 9 o'clock, if I'm not in a position, I'll pretty much just wash my hands for the day. All right, so basically, let's use this day instead, right? Right here, this would have been a level I would have been watching it because it was untested right here. Let me stretch it out. I'll drop this on there for you, this one right here. So this is your little bull flag or whatever on a 5-minute chart. This is after you found support, right? You're moving higher. You've taken out highs. So I would be looking for this level to be retested at my time frame. This was the London Open. So the London Open once again set in the low of day. The London Open will put in the lower high of day so many times it's disgusting. But got a nice test of that level. So what I would have been watching for is a close below. Unable to close below. Unable to close below. Once we took out this candle's high right there, I would have gotten long. I would have put my stop below this candle, and I would have let it play out however it wanted to. I mean, obviously it's hindsight, but that's how I trade. You can basically ask anybody, like Jay Bradley or any of them other guys that trade with me every single day, all day long. They know what I'm looking for because they now themselves are looking for it by themselves, which is a phenomenal, beautiful thing to see. Love it. But yeah, I'm looking for major areas. Sorry, Wes, if I got off track, but I'm looking for major areas like 8-hour daily levels, and then I go into smaller time frame charts and I watch to see how price acts around those levels, and then I look for those levels on a smaller time frame like the 5-minute chart, and then I basically just make sure I keep my eyes peeled as to what happens when price comes down into that level. If it looks like it's going to go my way, and there's other aspects to it, obviously. I'm looking to trade the strongest pair versus the weakest pair, or at least one of the 3 strongest pairs versus one of the 3 weakest pairs. That gives you a bias. Then I'm looking for basically that range to expand, and I'm looking for entries. Yeah, there's a thousand trade recaps on this channel where I actually go over in depth the trades that I took. I think there's a playlist even called Trade Recaps. Watch those videos. They go into depth, man. I don't hold nothing back. I give out all the information, all of it. It's freely given. NPX USDT. I believe I already looked at that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's the one we just looked at before I seen Wes's comment. Check out link. Absolutely. Let me check out link. It's not looking so good. It's having a weaker day. But that's okay because you're pushing under this support level right here. This level right here may hold support, it may not. Let's see what the hourly chart looks like. Yeah, the hourly chart's coming in hot. So I would look for this level to be broken, and I would look for a test of this level right here. Boom. 28.25844, this level right here. It is just a little bit above that 8-hour level, but what could possibly happen is you could get a wick through to that 8-hour level. As long as you're not closing hourly candles below 28.25, it could be possible. You could be looking at as a possible bullish entry, targeting that high right there. That would be a nice risk to reward. You would get a 3-4 to 1 out of that if it's going to remain bullish. So make sure you're waiting on this hourly close. I don't like, well, I do take trades in crypto on the weekend, so I can't even say that. I haven't really been trading so much of the crypto pairs as much as I do the FX pairs. So I don't have no back testable data to say only look to trade crypto pairs at such and such time of day. It seems to me like they move pretty much the same all day long. So I don't have any tidbits of information of what time to watch for this to happen. I would probably try to stay close to the New York Open, the London Open, or the Asian Open myself, as that's probably when volume's going to come in on these things as well, because all markets are basically traded the same and by the same participants. So I would be looking for that. This is probably going to bounce around here. I mean, it may, if you start making higher highs on an hourly chart, then look for lower highs. If you're looking for bullish entries, I wouldn't be looking for buying hold positions on Link right now, because you're trading pretty close to the highs, the all-time highs up over here. Yeah. So here's your weekly. Your weekly hasn't even been able to test your underside. Well, that was a beautiful test. What am I talking about? So you had a test there and you're failing. That's okay. That's okay. You did take out this candle's high, so let's see how it reacts around that weekly level. You can do it like I do. Like I pull up that little bar, hit 1 week, so that way I know it's a weekly level, and I can look in my smaller time frame charts and watch how price reacts around that weekly level. Let's see how far away it is from that hourly. It's a pretty good piece away. That hourly's down there. So yeah, one of these levels down here, look for these levels to hold as support. There's Jay Bradley. And you are leaning into the hold rejection of higher lows of the day as well. Awesome. Yeah, great content. I am just still learning, and so lots of info. Sorry to throw you off. Dude, you're not throwing me off, bro. That's why I do the live streams. If I didn't want to mess with anybody or talk to anybody, I would just do my Crypto Weekly Outlook video and upload it. That's the reason I do the live streams. I do them so that way you guys can ask me questions live. And there's Jay Bradley saying he does this every day on in the chat. It looks overwhelming at first how he does it, but if you stick with it, you start to be able to do it yourself. Just takes time, study, and bar replay. Absolutely, man. That bar replay is possibly the best tool that TradingView offers, in my opinion. I used it so much to try to learn how to trade. I got short on it currently. Are you talking about Link? Oh, ETH. Okay, I see. ETH, you're short on ETH currently. As long as you're not looking for a massive move to the downside, you may be okay. Just give me a second. It had a lot of it had a lot of bullish momentum, bro. Had a lot of bullish momentum. I don't know where you're short or what you got short against or why. I would have never shorted this. I would only be looking for longs. Let me see. Alright, so there you go. You got your retest of that level and you're heading lower. As of right now, man, you haven't even made a new 4-hour support level. There's your support level on a 4-hour. And as you can see, it's holding it still. If this one right here doesn't get a closure below that level, I can't pronounce your name, unfortunately. I'll just call you Kroll if that's okay. Cole for short, C-O-L-I-K-I-G. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. If you get a 4-hour closure below this 2062 level, you may be okay. I would definitely be looking to exit that position around 1995 spot 14 if you're in profits. If you got short below this support level right here, you may be in trouble. Like I said, I don't know where you got short, but there was a lot of momentum to the upside. This is a small pullback. You had a huge bounce. They front run this level. It didn't even come in to retest it before buyers we're already eating it up, and you got that bounce so far. So this is just a retest of longs, basically. Now, I don't like the fact that this hourly engulfs the previous hourly candle to the bearish direction. And if you keep closing like below that, like I said, this level, if you're closing 4 hours below it, you might be okay. Look to take profits around 1995 because that level will possibly get another big bounce. I am expecting that level to hold a support. If not that one, then the next one below it. There's not really anything on there, but like I said, you got this old high over here. That's possibly going to act as support. That high is possibly going to act as support. So I hope you're not looking for a big trade, like an intraday scalp to the downside, and it's still so risky. Steam USD, absolutely for red OZ. Alright, so it's all calculated by TradingView. It's going to be wiki. Oh, no, it's not. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So another extremely bullish asset. Well, not on the longer term. Your trading in conjunction to your hourly resistance level is going to be right there at one spot, 010. As long as you're closing weekly candle above that, it's possibly going to carry on with some bullish momentum to the upside. You didn't quite test that resistance level up there, but it is a nice rounded bottom, all right, and you did get a pullback on your weekly and you have moved higher. So it is in the near term to the upside. However, it will be looked at by sellers as a great opportunity to get out of this thing. If, say, they're long from up here, any pop in price, get them not nearly as red as they used to be, and they bail. You know what I mean? They're like, I got to get out now. I can take this loss. And then new shorts are going to be looking to short it. So let me find you some near-term daily levels. Those two are weeklies, but let's just get rid of this weekly. Let's go with this daily. That was your last resistance right there. 0.7648 right here. Look to see if that holds as support. If price comes back down there. If you got smaller time frame divots in price before you get down there, there's a nice 4-hour structure. You can look to see if price holds there. It does look like it's wanting to test lower because on this, instead of making higher highs, you stalled out, and so far you haven't closed this 4-hour candle yet. Right here is your last bearish 4-hour candle, same as this one. So that is your support currently. You are currently trading beneath it, but that means nothing. This candle closes in 2 hours. It will be important, as if you get a closure below this level, I would be looking for this level to come into play to see if that level can find some support. All right, it did have a lot of near-term bullish momentum. Is that momentum waning? We don't know. We will have to wait and see. I can't pull up any indicators for you. Yeah, I don't have any. I guess I could just type it in and pick it right back up. Let's see if it's. I'm not thinking it's. Let's see where it's at on the daily. It's a 4-hour. Let's see where it is on the daily. Yeah, so you were extremely overbought for a little bit. You do not have bearish divergence. That's a good thing. It is going back down into the. I mean, it's got a lot of momentum still to the upside. There's bullish divergence from way back here, but I don't like to play those kind of divergence levels, and it's not super divergent either. I'm not a big fan of bearish divergence, but a lot of people are, so I put them on the chart. I put it on the charts to call it out for people that do like it. But it looks okay, man. It looks okay. Look for support to hold there if you're bullish. And then your next level, unfortunately, is far piece from. You got one right there. So I would look for that one. Boom, right there. So these 3 levels are going to offer up support. Just wait to see which one of them it is. I would assume it would probably be one of the lower 2, but It could find support right here. It could turn around right here. This could be a bear trap. Nobody knows. Ren and GRT, please, says Atif. Absolutely. Let me go check it out. I'm assuming you want the dollar pairings. All right, so you made a lower high and you are currently taking out the low of that. This is a daily chart, so I put a lot of weight on daily levels. Okay, you took out your support level down here with several days. Boom, 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 boom. You made a new support. Now you're currently testing resistance. So you did get that closure above that resistance level, but then you see how this bearish candle completely takes out the low of this candle. Now I would expect it to find a little bit of support right here, right at the near term, like currently where price is right now. But in the bigger scheme of things, this is a lower low, right? You have a lower high, or you have a high up here, then you made a lower high. This was your higher low, but you just took out your higher low with a lower low. So any move up is going to be hit with selling pressure. But I mean, let's see what happens, because this could also be the bulls regaining control. I mean, you can get paralysis by analysis so easy trying to do this stuff. So that's why I just look at near-term levels, and then I make my trading decisions based solely upon those. You have a 4-hour support right below it, but I wouldn't be looking for that one. I would be looking for this one down here, simply because you get underneath this wick, right? So boom, see if that level, one of these two levels, is where I'd want support if I'm long. If I'm looking to short this, I'll wait for a pullback up into roughly this area here. This bullish candle's opening price, and I would be looking to get short in this area, and I would be targeting this level. All right, so that's only if I was looking for the short. It would look something like this. Boom, something like that. And only be targeting like a 2-to-1 risk to reward out of it if it gets back up here. And I won't be the only one looking at that as the same thing, obviously, because that's a beautiful 2-to-1 risk to reward. So you can't really do anything right now. Can't do anything. If it shows an unwillingness to close below this level, you could possibly look for buys back up to that level. It just depends on what you want to do with it, I guess. If you're looking for longer term buy and hold strategies, like you want to invest in it, then I would, yeah, I mean, if you want to invest in it, if you think it's a very good asset, it looks good. I mean, from what price action we have here, it's only going up. It's not a big shit coin. It hasn't been sold off a blue billion, you know what I mean? It's going up. It's a bullish asset. So you could look for buying entries. You could, no, I don't really see a trend line. No, and if I put one up here, it's going to be under it. So, I mean, that's just going to be trying to fit it to fit my, I don't do that. So watch these levels right here for the near term. If you take out your highs up here, look for pullback entries to get long, because then this could just be heading higher. I don't like the fact that it made that low. And then GRT, let's go look at GRT. I get lost doing this stuff, guys. So forgive me if I spend too much time on one asset. I'm just trying to give you the best value that I can. So I have no clue what that's there for. Let's go look at an 8-hour. All right, perfect. So that was an 8-hour level right there. You made a lower low once again. See how this works? This level's down here. I was looking for that area to come in as support. It did not. It never did get that low. This was your low. This was your support. You did close below it on multiple attempts. Broke back out, retested it as support, moved higher, even took out this lower high. So you're looking for bullish entries, look for support around one spot 588, or possibly, let's get this gone, possibly one spot 49, one of these two levels. I don't know what there could be there, so let me bring this down to that bearish candle, as that was tested already. But you're testing current support right now. This is your current support. So it looks constructive. You didn't take out this resistance, and you do have that lower low. So take that from what you will. That's why it's heading lower now, along with everything else. Everything else is being viewed as it made a lower low, so people are shorting it. Simple as that. But we are still in alt season, so these things can just rip in your face. Thanks, bro, and sorry the name was me in a rush. Haha, subscribed. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Invest only? Yeah. All right. Invest only. Then you can basically buy it anywhere if you think it's going to go higher over time, like say a Tesla investment, or like for me with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I just buy weekly closures. That's something you could look at. Buy every red weekly close, just throw a small little piece on it. Like if this thing closes tomorrow red, just wherever it is, instantly on the close, buy a small piece. Boom. That's how I do Bitcoin and ETH. But like I said, it's not money that I care to lose either. So that's the way you got to do it, man. But kudos. It's extremely bullish. I love it. And you can even trade this on Coinbase too. So it's got plenty of exchanges. It's got nice liquidity against the dollar. Your 4-hour chart doesn't have no gaps in it. It looks good. It looks good. See what happens. See if you take out your current support level. I like it. It's still holding. You haven't taken it out. You know what I mean? If you do take out this level, your next one is here, and then these two levels down here. I would much rather buy at these two levels myself if I was looking for this to continue higher. Maybe possibly making a trend line right now, but I doubt it. Nope. If it did, it broke it. Which is another reason people sold it. Alright. If nobody's got anything else, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. Well, it's not short. I've been on for over an hour, I guess. Hour and 1 minute, so not too long. Most of the time my streams run about hour and a half. An hour and a half is a bit of a long time to have a stream. Let's go look at these things that I'm watching again, because I am looking for short entries on the ones that have this terrible weekly chart. Not this one. Not this one. Like this one. This one. This is the one I like the best. Oh man, it's going to be beautiful. If Bitcoin catches a bid too, that's going to also add some pressure on this thing. But I want it up here at 78 Satoshis. 78 Satoshis. Oh my God, this thing is cheap. Oh my gosh. I guess it just couldn't go any lower. 13 Satoshis. 10 Satoshis. That's why it's bouncing. But I am looking for it to get sold back into again. And then I think this one's basically like the same thing. Yeah, but you're up in the thousands. 1,216 Satoshis is where price is right now. You are welcome, John. Can you look at .USD again, please? Yeah, sure. .USD, it's on the purple list. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. This is a nice, big, strong weekly candle, and hopefully it closes strong. The daily is taking a bit of a hit, but that's okay. It's just a pullback on a smaller time frame. We got support levels at 41 spot 39 and 39 spot 60. Those are that's this level over here, which it shouldn't be. It should be over here, because that level is already taken out. Whenever a bullish candle takes out another bullish candle, I use the most relevant one. And then you have 8-hour structures down here at 37.83. So there are 3 nice areas to look for support if you're looking for bullish entries on DOT. DOT is extremely strong. You took out your all-time high on this push. Loving it. It could absolutely find support higher. You have taken out the wicks, all the wicks since this here. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. There's nothing for me to buy it right here, though. I want it lower. Here, or here. if I'm looking to buy it. Why did you discuss Litecoin? Oh, no, I did not. I was short on Litecoin and I took that short off. Let me go look at Litecoin versus the dollar. I don't know why I don't have it on this chart. That's probably why I didn't discuss it. Let me go look at it real quick. Let's go look at it versus the dollar. Taking a beating on an hourly. Damn it. Yeah, you got a full-on outside day reversal happening right now. Look, you can see, I mean, traded, you didn't trade up into your resistance. Basically, it's just that trend line. People are shorting it against that trend line is it. That is it. And they are winning currently. So you're going to come into possible support right around this area here at 195.74. Price is trading into that area right now. It's coming in with a lot of steam. All right, so you want this momentum to wane before you look for bullish entries. This is a lot of steam. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6, well, 5 bullish candles. You have smoked in 2 candles to the downside. So the sellers are in control for the near term. See what happens there. And then there's another support level down here at 185.35. 185.35. One of these two L levels. And then this one down here would come into confluence with this trend line. So I'm not even going to put it in. So there are your support levels if you're looking for this thing to move higher. It looks like it was trying to, and they said no. And then Litecoin versus Bitcoin, I am no longer short that. I took off the position. Let me just go over here and do it this way because I know I have that on the Kraken. Right here it is. So I got out of my position over here when we took out this stuff here to the downside and then immediately reversed on this 8-hour push. That's when I exited the position. I was short from like 3 something. I think it was roughly about 3770, I think is where I was short from. So that was a 13% win on that short. This is, oh man, it's looking bad. It's looking rough. This level down here is a weekly. It's just that, yeah. The actual, that's the lowest it's ever traded before. So it's very weak in conjecture and like compared to the other ones, like Ethereum and everything else. It's extremely weak. Let's go see what Ethereum looks like on an 8-hour. Yeah, see, Ethereum versus Bitcoin does not look nearly as bearish as Litecoin. The whole world is long. Hopefully when you close your short, it will go long. Yeah. Yep. It's been getting pummeled. That's for sure. Looks like you're finding a small bounce right here. We were watching this, man, and I just did not get in because I got stung on it twice. I got in like around here and caught this little bounce, and then it came down and stopped me out. And then like I didn't like this price action right here. We made this pop again, and it just like rolled over, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. But I should have gotten long on this pullback right here because you did take out this bullish candle with that one. So I just wasn't watching it. I mean, there's so much stuff to watch through the week. It's impossible for me to catch every single trade. But that was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Beautiful. Boom. Big explosion. Is it catching support right now? It's possible. It's possible. This is your last resistance level, so that's where I would want to buy. Let me get rid of all this stuff. On ETH versus Bitcoin, I would want to catch it right there at 3405. Hopefully, it would find support there if I was looking for longs. And then there's an 8-hour structure right below it at 3352. So one of these two areas, I might look for a long entry on ETH versus Bitcoin. ETH's got some strength to it right now. It's doing good. It's doing good. That's pretty much it. Nothing's green that needs to be discussed. Let me look at KuCoin real fast. Yeah, that's it. Those weren't those ones that are up over 90%. Those are the only ones still. So yeah, that's what's happening in the crypto market. I'm sure there's other stuff that I don't know anything about, like NFTs and stuff like that are probably flying right now. I only keep track of the stuff that I can trade, and then whatever you guys ask me to look at, I just look at. So, but I am going to cut it off. If you guys don't have nothing else you want me to look at, I'm gonna call it a day. I will be doing a Forex Weekly Outlook tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll be doing the members only live stream in the morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when I will see you guys there. So, you guys make sure you trade safe, make sure you trade smart, and happy trading, everybody. Oh, wait, hang on. Carlos just jumped in. Hi everyone, I'm a bit late. Heath, do you think there is a bit of pressure on BTC? It just dropped slightly below my lower trend channel support line, lows on 27. Yeah, there is some pressure on Bitcoin. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you real fast, but I was just getting ready to wrap it up. I got Bitcoin on this one. Got some Bitcoin right here. I mean, here's your 8-hour structure. This is your resistance level right here. That 8-hour candle, that's your highest 8-hour closing candle, and that's what helps as resistance. So the reason it's falling right now is because it's looking for support. It's looking for a place for buyers to step back in. My first level that I'm looking for buyers is 56357. That doesn't mean buyers will show up there, but that is where I'm looking for support to be found. All right, this is a big, strong, bearish candle to the downside. It can find support here because you have this lowest 8-hour closing candle. That is your lowest closing price since you pushed higher. So that's your support level. And then this possibly down here. One of these two levels has to find support. If we continue pushing lower with big, huge bearish candles and we slice through all support levels, then something else is going on. But yeah, this definitely stalled at resistance for sure. Philip Berger says he's my man. CTM for familia. Familia. Yeah, we are a family. We are a family. You guys are welcome. Thank you very much for showing up. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, just drop them in the comment section below. This video will, once YouTube gets done doing what it's got to do, they'll throw it up and you can comment and I will answer you. I always answer any questions. And I will see you tomorrow during the FX Weekly Outlook at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Talk to you then.